SOSG, standing on solid ground. Hello, this is Kim Jones with Standing on Solid Ground. I am the host of this inspirational and motivational podcast. Today, I am going to be speaking on experience. I am going to begin with Romans 5:3 and 4. And not only so, but we glory in tribulation also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. Now, in the beginning, when I started this podcast with my first layer, faith, I spoke about my son going back to school. And I spoke in regards to how he was going to be able to go to school this semester. And I was praying to God to make a way, to show me a way for this to happen. Well, it wasn't for me to figure out, and it wasn't for me to do. God just did it. And he made a way. My son would start school on time, and God just took care of everything, and it took a lot of faith. Well, in that experience, I learned that I have to wait. I have to be patient. I have to be obedient, and I have to keep the hope that God is going to honor his word. Experiences are life-changing things that happen in your life, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. It can be life changing. It can be a learning part of your life. And this is teaching my son how to lean on God when you find yourself in a predicament or in a situation where you can't figure out how it's going to work. Now, previously in past events in my life, I always try to figure it out on my own. I always try to find a way to do it on my own. And God was showing me, you can't do it without me, but I'm going to let you try anyway. And then when you fail, and then when you find yourself in more trouble, you'll come back. And training your child doesn't stop when they become teenagers or graduated high school or college. You are a living example for your children at any age. It doesn't matter what age you are. My experiences in life, from the hard-headedness to doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, against my parents' wishes, and being with the wrong man, and the whole 9 yards. You learn that your parents only want what's best for you. And the experiences that you go through sometimes could have been prohibited had you listened. Again, obedient. So all of these layers work together. I may not do them in a certain order, but I know faith is my strongest point. That is my foundation. That's my concrete right there. So without faith, any of the other things that happen or transpired in my life would happen accordingly, or be successful without faith. And this experience for me doing this podcast is an experience for me. I am not a public speaker. I feel like that I am not as well as I could be. I look up to my brothers, even though they're younger than I am. I look to my brothers as being perfect speakers. I look to my youngest son, and my daughter's actually a great public speaker. So I'm like, I am not good at this, but I gave it a try because this is a good experience for me, to let people know you don't have to be perfect in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve in your life. And the life experiences that you learn for teaches you that you are stronger than what you think you are, or you are more exceptional in some of the things that you thought that you weren't really good at in the beginning. And it is a hassle sometimes. I stutter, I stammer, and I mess over words sometimes. But I'm okay because I'm human. And this experience has lifted my confidence. It has lifted my stability in believing that I can do anything if I put my mind to it. This is a wonderful experience. But also, we can learn from other people's experiences as well. Now, the person that I have in mind for that is Mr. Tyler Perry. Exceptional experiences that he has gone through in his life, from writing to now he went to stage plays, and now he's on television and he's doing movies. But he had a humble beginning, and from what I understand, he had many obstacles in his way along the way, or many rejects where people wouldn't buy into the ideas of what he had. And that inspired me. And I published a book, and it's called The Wish Card. The pen name under it is Kim Nickens. And the wish card is about a man who make wishes around him to change everything and everybody around him, but he refused to look at himself and change himself. And I wanted to publish the book, so I got it published. Then I received calls from different organizations where they're wanting to do a screenplay about the book, and that's where I ran into my obstacles because the funding wasn't there for me. But the experience of knowing that you've written a book that someone found interesting enough to put it in a screenplay, that one day it could be a movie, was an awesome feeling. And it reminded me of Tyler Perry, that he never gave up. He kept pushing. No matter what people told him, he kept pushing. If they said, no, this is not going to work, he kept pushing. If he said, no, this is not a good idea, he kept pushing. And that just stimulated me to continue to write. Now, I'm not giving up on my book, The Wish Card. I love my book. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed reading it, and I laugh even because sometimes I found it funny, like, okay, this is an idea that I came up with, but it was from other experiences in my life where I often heard people complaining about other people, and they wish that they would do this or they wish that they would do that. They were wanting to change everybody else except themselves. So that's why I wrote the book. Now, it's a little funny, it's a little comical, but it has a powerful meaning that you cannot change the world around you until you're willing to change yourself. And that experience, whether writing it or seeing it published, or even speaking to individuals about getting it into a screenplay and doing commercials, or doing a television where I'm speaking with people about my book and about what it's about, and just different things. It all sounded wonderful until they gave me the price. And then I said, oh, Father, I didn't realize it was so much more to publishing a book. That's a good experience for me because it teaches me, don't just look at things at face value. There is so much more to just doing one thing. And in this case, publishing my book, that was first phase, but there are other phases to get it to either television or to movies or wherever it's going, or just to get it out there to let people know, hey, I've just written a book and it's called this, for people to go out and purchase it and read it. That experience is wonderful. But it was short, it was stopped short of where I really wanted it to go due to COVID, due to being able to go out, because it came out just as restrictions came out, so I couldn't be in the public unless it was necessary. So it was crazy. But no matter what, I'm not giving up hope. I didn't give up hope, and I'm not going to give up hope. I believe one day this book is going to catch the eyes of readers, and one day it will be more than what I've ever thought it to be. But I had to humble myself and say, well, God, whatever your will is, let your will be done. Because we can do so much in trying to make something happen, and God could have another idea to introduce something, and it will be a whole lot less stressful than what we were trying to do in the beginning. So experience. Experience you can learn from. You can learn from other people's experience. Like, again, I'll say like Tyler Perry and all that he's done. He is my inspiration. He has given me encouragement. It's like he is a cheerleader, and he didn't know that he was my cheerleader, because he helped me define myself, to not shortchange myself, to believe that I can't do it. I can do it. It's just I have to take another route to get there. And so it's okay. So, what all the experiences that we face in our lives, they can be hurtful, they can be inspirational, they can be humorous, they can be unforgettable. All the experiences that we encounter in our life have a certain impact on our lives, and it actually can help someone else along the way, that they can see something that sometimes you don't even have to say a word. You can just watch someone's body language, you can watch their attitude or their behavior, and you can learn just from looking, and they never have to open their mouth. So, this next layer, experience, is a learning process. It can, and again, it can be helpful, it can be hurtful, but it's still an experience. You can turn a negative into a positive, and you can make good of that experience, no matter how bad it could be. Now, I know that through faith, this is the only way I've made it to this point in my life. I am not, and I repeat, I am not a public speaker. I am not well with words sometimes. But this experience of me speaking to those of you who are listening, it helps build my confidence and my self-esteem. And I hope that it will help someone else out there know that whatever you think you can't do, just give it a try first. Give it a try. Go out there and give it the best that you can give. And if you are not successful, then you know that this may or may not be what you needed to do. Or it could be a situation where you have to take another approach for it to be successful. So, with this layer or level experience, let's learn that we can make the best of everything. If we have a bad experience with something, look at that and see what we can do differently. If we have a good experience about it, let's learn from it, that maybe we can teach someone else from your experience. Although other people are different and they encounter things or receive things differently, it can still be a help to someone somewhere down the line. Just don't give up. So, with that being said, my experience, faith, hope, patience, obedience, has is slowly building up the strength of my solid ground. And I want you to understand that I want the best for everybody. You find what suits you. You find what's comfortable to you, and you make the best of it. Don't ever shortchange yourself. Don't ever give up in yourself. Find your strengths. Find out what you can strengthen about your weaknesses, and then go for the gold. Because like my mom always said, the world is your oyster. Go for it. Believe in it. You have one life to live. Don't sit back and wish that you had did this or wish that you had did that. Try it and see what happens. And if it works for you, it works for you. And if it doesn't, then you gave it the best that you can give. So, in closing, I would say my experience is my lessons in life. And I pray that these motivational podcasts will assist you, motivate you, inspire you, and just give you a little bit more faith, a little bit more hope, learn how to be more patient, and to learn from your experiences. This is Kim Jones with Standing on Solid Ground. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope and pray that you have a blessed day.